Second World War. Silly bastard. But anyway, he was injured in the First World War. He joined again in the Second World War, and he was invalided out as a result of injuries in the Second World War. So that's where the connection of the patches comes from. It's a unit that's from Western Victoria. Now the 4th Lighthorse, as I said, did most of their work in around Palestine, as it was called then. The 4th Lighthorse also went to Gallipoli as infantry. They didn't take horses because they were versatile. They are trained infantry soldiers mounted on horses for transport. Most of what they did on Gallipoli was well documented. There's the 8th Australian Lighthorse and a number of other units of horrid casualties on Gallipoli. When they came back, they were severely depleted. The horses were still in Egypt waiting. Once Gallipoli had finished, they then got into the Palestine campaign properly. The 4th Lighthorse was also the only Lighthorse unit to travel to Europe and be involved in the conflict in Europe. They went to Europe as divisional cavalry. As I said, the Poms weren't sure how to use them, and that didn't come about until the charge of Beersheba in 1917. Late in the war, they had a situation where they couldn't break the line at Gaza out into the desert. They rode for 3 days into the desert with minimal water and no feed to get to Beersheba, which was a town out in the desert, village, whatever it was, but it had water. 58,000 men went to Beersheba. 58,000 men and 58,000 horses. Now, I don't know how often you go to the MCG for a football match, but if you can imagine, the average crowd to an Australian rules football match is about 60,000. How do you feed and water 60,000, 58,000 men and horses? A horse will drink up to 18 litres of water a day. And you've only got horse transport. You don't have 58,000 litre horses, you don't have 58,000 litre tankers that you see milk being carted around in nowadays. Everything was done manually. So they marched out to Beersheba. The Poms assaulted the place with their infantry. 58,000 horses, I must say, are not all light horses. There are heavy horses who pulled artillery pieces. There were heavy horses that pulled wagons which contained ammunition. There were other horses involved. But basically, there was a number of regiments of light horse out there. Late in the day, Beersheba was holding out. The population, the military population of Beersheba was somewhere around 8,000 troops, Turkish and German troops with artillery. They were entrenched, which means they had fortifications around the town. They had barbed wire. They had artillery. The Poms had been assaulting the place with infantry to no success. Late in the day,